Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities Tarot. My name's Rochelle and I am doing a reading for Virgo in all placements, and it's timeless in general, so take what resonates and leave the rest. This is a life purpose reading and what's coming next potentially. I'm going to start with my pendulum. I can get it. Pick a couple angel cards. Okay. Hey, there's Lioness Kitty Cat and Mountain Minstrel and the Sun. Good morning, you guys. Love that you all came in at once. Okay, so we have understanding and flexibility. Flexibility. I suddenly thought of The Incredibles. What's Miss? I can't think of her name. Mrs. Incredible, and she says, I think it was in the beginning when she's like, "You need to be a little bit flexible, more flexible." Anyway, um, so so maybe there's a need for understanding in what you're doing. Maybe there's some kind of understanding that's coming to you about needing to be more flexible. um this flexibility, it makes me think that you are you may be um going or being guided in a direction that is unfamiliar or unknown in some way, that that requires you to have some amount of trust and possibly patience. um that there's going to be a need to pivot, to go with the flow. So let's set those aside for a moment. And um, I let's see. I want to start by asking what's trying to come forth. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I ah, I always go with the same ones. That's okay because they're awesome. My elemental oracle. Okay, we've got the biome and connection, number 44. Outer core and fluidity, number 12. Fluidity, similar to flexibility. And volcanoes and power, number 9. So what's trying to come forth is maybe you're doing something that connects you to the world at large. um I'm sorry, I'm being I'm getting the message I need to look in my book, because apparently there's something in there that's going to help me. Okay, give me a moment. um Looking at biome. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. You are asked for synergy at present. Be aware of the needs of others. You are a part of the same whole. Consider working more closely with your community. Okay, interesting. Be aware of the needs of others. You are part of the same whole. And then let me look up. And then outer core fluidity. Be fluid in your thinking. Holding on to old ideas in a rigid way is not beneficial for you. A nimble mind is a healthy mind. It is never too late to admit you are wrong or to change your mind according to new information. And then I'm not even going to look up power in volcanoes because that is feels very self-explanatory. Um, So, so then it really aligns with this understanding, this biome and connection, understanding other people's perspectives, um, or being open to differences that people have compared to you that is going to somehow help your endeavor, um, because others have they may have a piece of the puzzle that you don't. And so by being flexible and open to other people's ideas, that's going to help you with showing up. I'm so sorry. Hang on. I'm having a brain moment. Um yeah. So this fluidity, this outer core is about how it's like showing up and being like prepared and ready to act, but also able like I said, able to pivot, able to change at a moment's notice. If you have some kind of idea, um allowing other ideas in, which is going to help you grow ultimately and be more become more connected to your own desires, your own purpose. There's a synergy here with others that yeah, it's like it's unexpected, or somehow it's helping, or it's going to help you to just become a better version of yourself. And that is where your power lies. There's I just keep getting like there's something hidden for you to discover that involves somehow it involves other people, helping you to discover that. And this card always makes me think of a glow up. um, there's some kind of emotional stability, emotional intelligence that you are coming to, because with her coming out of the water there, and water represents emotions, and especially the waves, the waves make me think of like if you're being tossed and tumbled in the waves, um emotionally speaking. It's a very confusing kind of feeling to have, to be lost in your emotions and moody and all over the place. And I feel like you're overcoming this somehow, and it has to do with collaborating. So, yeah, excellent. I like it. Hey, there's Redbeard and Linda. So glad you guys made it. So then, what's the strongest foundation to build upon? Go with my Neoteric Feminine Tarot. What's the strongest foundation to build upon? The Hierophant. Taurus energy. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, see? Collaboration. And Two of Pentacles. So, there is there's learning to be done with by working with others, by collaborating with others. Maybe this involves some kind of spiritual endeavor. Maybe that's an element of your life purpose, is to somehow be a guide, be a teacher with all the books here, um, and working with others to continue to build your own knowledge, to kind of, yeah, help others to understand where you're coming from as well. And there, with this Two of Pentacles, it's like knowing that you have the ability to juggle all the things that you need to do in order to be successful in this collaboration. There's, it's like I'm getting, there's a lot of moving parts. And as long as everybody shows up and does their part, um, it's gonna work. It's gonna go smoothly, relatively smoothly. Um, and this can also speak to, like, it's really important to focus on doing the things, finishing your tasks, working with others, but you still have to make sure that you juggle work with rest and play. Okay. So, what could potentially hold you back? Um, these? No. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I know. Yeah, I'll use my little rune cards. What could potentially hold you back? Flow. And actually, I mean, I'm not reading reversals, but this did show up in reverse. Not being in the flow, not being flexible. Gateway. By the way, 1821. And partnership. So this is what can potentially hold you back. Being inflexible. Um, choosing to try to do things on your own or in your own way without that collaborative spirit it could potentially send you in a different direction than what you're intending. And the reason I say this is when I look at gateway, the shape of the rune is here, but the way it looks is there's one part, this straight line that goes right to the gateway, this path. But there's something that goes off in this other direction. And there's a couple of different points, right, where you could be led astray off of the main path. And so it feels like this requires focus, determination, persistence, keeping your eye on the prize. And a part of that has to do with flexibility and remembering that partnership is a two-way street. It is um, it's honoring each other's differences while supporting and uplifting each other. Um, and also just remembering that like I keep getting like you want to be flexible, but you also want to make sure that in any kind of collaboration that you're not being bowled over by other people's ideas or expectations. Um, that it's in that's there's somewhat of an equal give and take. So, what have you forgotten? Going with my guardian tarot, my creepy tree friends. Two of Pentacles, the Devil, Capricorn energy, and Ten of Cups. So, this is what you've forgotten. So, we've got the Two of Pentacles again. I think it seems like you've been in situations before where you've had to juggle a lot, where you've had to yeah, you've had to focus. And I talked about this earlier, the work with play. And this kind of came up for Leo yesterday, but um in that process of juggling, you may have been tempted or distracted by things that were a lot of fun. Like, so I'm looking at this one here. We see that Coco Pelli figure way off in the distance playing the flute or whatever. And this figure in the front is looks kind of sad and melancholy, like not joining the fun, right? Um, because there's more important things to do. But it's it makes me think of when you like say you go on a diet and you refrain from all the yummy things that you want to eat. There comes a point when if you deprive yourself for too long, you end up binging because you still want to have that. You want to have that moment of satisfaction, and if you hold it off for too long, then it just kind of comes in. And it's very common to just be like, it's been so long, I'm just going to indulge. And that's what this devil feels like. It's like, um oh, I'm so tired of working. I'm just gonna let loose and have fun, but like overdoing it. But having, gone through that, you 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 were able to bring yourself back into balance. You were able to, if you did give into some kind of temptation here, or any number of temptations, um you overcame them, because with the 10 of cups, you still made it to your wish fulfillment. It just might have been where you were on a path, and there, you kind of went this way. You went off and then got yourself back on again. So, so that's a part of the remembering, is that it is very easy to be tempted on your path. And if you do find yourself going off in another direction because of the temptations, um, that's normal, that's fine, that's a part of being human. Um, just course correct and get yourself back on again, because you know there's a part of you. It's like, the light is shining. It's just like, come on, you can make it. And you're meant to remember that you've gone through this before, and it worked out just fine. So no need to get down on yourself, um, if you do kind of lean into some kind of dalliance or other. So, what if anything needs to be done? Going with my voice of the souls oracle. All right, we've got karma and 16. Source 31. Karmic relationship 24. That's interesting. Hang on. Um okay. Oh. Well, I'm just looking at numbers right now, and I just noticed that this one breaks down to a 9, which volcanoes and power is also a 9. So, remembering to be flexible and be in the flow is what helps to, actually, um, helps you settle into your power, or stand more firmly in your power, rather than the other way around. Because if you're not being flexible, then you're being rigid. And so being in the flow is like, you're able to you're able to move in a new way, or a new direction. So make sure. um okay, cool. So this is what if anything needs to be done. um it's interesting that we have karma and karmic relationship. Maybe you've been dealing with some kind of karmic phase in your life. And karma really is just cause and effect. So, what you put out in the world, you get back, is essentially what it boils down to. So, you're you're needing to, or in the process of changing your, we'll say, changing your karma. And this has to do, it could do with your relationships in general. There could be something specific here, and I'm drawn to this partnership card. because that's what came up when we asked what could hold you back. Some kind of karmic relationship, something that it's like somebody that you have that you know isn't good for you, but you have trouble letting go of. Your source of I'm kind of getting your source of karma comes from a particular relationship. And that really could go in either direction, positive or negative. So maybe this is mostly just being aware of um, where you feel karma is working in your life and where it's working against you. And if you're bumping up against things where you're like, you're recognizing um like why maybe you've had some difficulties and you're starting to recognize that maybe they came about because of some some ideas or beliefs that you have held or actions that you've taken, and you're basically you're meant to really hone in on your relationships, or one in particular in general, because that is going to provide you with a lot of information about how to work with others, how to collaborate. Okay, so let's get the potential outcome with the Moonology deck. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. And be bold and make the first move. So you're going to get to that gateway one way or another, even if you have some kind of detour that you end up on, because of being able to hold your vision of what it is that you want to do, the direction you want to go. And it may feel impossible, but when you look at the word impossible, you could break it down to I'm possible. And I feel like that's a part of this vision, is realizing that you have what it takes to be successful in this new direction. And it very well might feel impossible, but as long as you hold your vision, um, you are being guided to make the impossible possible, maybe, or you're going to discover that. Be bold and make the first move. Um, you're maybe you're closing out some kind of difficult karmic connection with someone, and there's going to be because of standing your ground, knowing your worth, and not settling, you're going to call in um, a new type of connection that might have to do with this collaborative energy, this collaboration with others. um be bold and make the first move. I'm getting like, approaching people knowing that they're going to somehow be able to help you. So let me get a couple cards from the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Ooh, we've got Crown Chakra Upgrade, Divine Connection, Holy Experiences, Miraculous Energy. So keep in mind that all of this is being uh um words it's being it's being laid down for you. It's by the universe, by the divine. This holy experiences and divine connection really point to this hierophant. So you very well might be doing something that is very spiritually based, or that's a part of what's helping to drive you because of you being so connected to the universe, to those ethereal energies. And miraculous energy really points to this power. Somehow you things are going to fall into place. You're going to have these moments where you're like, "Oh my god, that is a miracle." I didn't even mean to, but I laid it down just on top of believe in the impossible. Something is going to feel incredibly miraculous. Oh, this came in for Leo yesterday. Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension, and you are rising up. Yeah, there's a major shift happening for you around what it is that you're doing or want to do, or it's a part of what's helping you. And oh yeah, and you are rising up. Like right? You're rising up. Okay. I gotta finish with my Beyond Lemuria oracle cards. Oops, it's again got two. Okay, interesting. Okay, beyond the mind. The mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. Step outside mind based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns of yours? What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Just coming from the past somehow. um yeah, it's overcoming your mind, overcoming your out of control feelings that get stirred up, that get kicked up when we get all caught up in our mind, thinking about the past. There's a physical reaction when we think about things that are negative and difficult. Like it physically affects us in a negative way. And when our body is negatively affected, then it in turn affects our mind. So it's this cyclical thing. And so this is about you breaking that cycle. And Being open to what your heart is saying in your gut. What would the situation feel like if you released all fears and worries? Um, yeah. Just keep that understanding with others. I mean, the Virgo energy is a very collaborative. It's a the Virgo energy wants to help. So, um, I feel like, when you get out of your head, when you get out of the past or worrying about the future and focus on the present and be flexible with who you're working with and how, um, that's really going to help shift you and get you through that gateway. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and leave a comment if it resonates.